What game is It's okay, just the
Does anyone still like this game?
In the year 2026 alone, there have already been over 8,000 game releases on Steam. I collected their data and made this into graphs that can tell us a lot about when were the games released, what is their price, their genre, what are their reviews like, and how much money did they make. Then I dug even further by analyzing 500 games released over 10 days. I enjoyed watching every single trailer, every description, and even the reviews, like this one. I couldn't stop laughing. Even now, 2 months later, I still remember every single game, which is quite impressive. Why did I do all of this? Well, it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but I would like to one day become a video game dev YouTuber. When I look at the current landscape of game dev YouTube, I see a lot of channels focusing on selling courses, marketing, and maximizing profits. Others try to make a really good game, but I just don't connect with it. A long time ago, we had channels like Danny and Jonas that made really impressive and just fun games, and I want to bring that era back. That's right, I want to make games that will blow your mind, like the great environments in Subnautica, the deep gameplay mechanics of Breath of the Wild that give you so much freedom, the juicy gameplay of Hollow Knight that feels so challenging but so rewarding when you master it, the feeling of getting sucked up in an epic and larger-than-life adventure, until you're like, this is it, this is the best moment in gaming ever, fucking cinema. Of course, it's not going to be easy and it's going to take a couple of years to get there, which is why I made this game dev skill tree. I do have some experience, but for simplicity's sake, we'll start at level 0 with 0 skill points. With every video, we will earn more skill points until we become the level 99 raid boss. You know, like in those mobile ads. Let me just go over here and... If you'll allow me to become a little bit poetic for a moment, every game is like a flower, and there are so many beautiful flowers out there. I want to give them the time of day that they deserve. We will go through a bunch of Steam trails together, but first I want to show you the graphs that I made. It's actually super simple to get all the data of each game on Steam. I just wrote a simple Python script. It is on GitHub if you want to try it for yourself. I highly recommend. It's time for graphs, baby. Let's go! The first graph shows for each day how many games were released. Oh my god, the average is 59. Not nice. You can see a reoccurring up and down pattern because most games are released on Tuesday and Wednesday. In the weekend, there is no Steam support, so if anything goes wrong, you're on your own. So there's almost no releases in the weekend. Pussies. Anyway, let's move on to the pricing of games. About 12% of these games is free, which is actually pretty good. Oh, I forgot about microtransactions. A bit of a boring graph, but most games are under $5 or $10. Wait a minute, what is this? Oh my god. Okay, so there's 22 games above $100. Let me take a look. Okay, so it's a bunch of developers that thought it would be funny to put a $200 price tag on their stupid game. Let's move on to the reviews. Since we don't know how much money each game made, the number of reviews is a good approximation of how much they earned. And then that's a steep drop-off. I think it is best visible on a pie chart. You see over 3/4 of games don't even get 10 reviews when they first release. I will name it the sad Pac-Man of irrelevancy. Lastly, let's take a look at the genres. There were about 400 tags used, and here are the 30 most common ones. Honestly, it's quite a boring graph. Well, except that instead of a good tag like action and adventure, the most common one is casual. Let me just real quick. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is that if Steam is mostly casual games, then it is a mobile platform and the Steam Deck is a mobile device. But hey, that's just
a game theory.
But the story doesn't end there. We can actually overlay the number of reviews per tag. Remember, reviews mean money. If we then sort by money made, this is what we get. The top performing genres are action, strategy, adventure, FPS, single player, co-op and multiplayer. And would you look at that, casual is all the way at the bottom here. This makes much more sense to me. That's it, baby! The world is perfect again! Steam is not a mobile platform! Gamers actually care about good gameplay! Oh right, sorry, the rest of the video. My apologies. I already mentioned that I took an in-depth look at 500 games released over 10 days. I'll be showing you the good, the bad and the ugly so that you have an idea of what is out there. Then you'll know for yourself if those Reddit posts are correct or not. I found that the vast majority of games comes from solo dev projects or tiny teams. Well, if we consider a Pac-Man of irrelevancy, it's kind of sad that all these devs are shoveling $100 into Steam. And now, the most important graph in this whole video, my personal enjoyment. Yes, there are 4 categories. First, asset flips and AI slop. and bad games, and games that are not necessarily bad, but they're just not for me, like horror games, roguelike deck builders, visual novels, and hyper-casual games. Personally, I only liked 15% of the games, which means that on average, every day about 9 good games get released. I like that number. You know, a lot of people worry about the oversaturation of the game market, but I think that 9 good games is a very healthy number for a population of 8 billion people. Alright, it's time to show you some of these games. Starting with the... This must be the worst asset flip I've ever seen, although I'll give it to them, the description is pretty funny. Some games look completely Gen AI made, or still rely too heavily on it. Lastly, there were a bunch of games like this where you just have to find something in a painting. I guess the grandma community is thriving on Steam. Next up, the bad games. Starting with a game about hemorrhoids. Honestly, these devs should apologize for making me go through this. This one simulates what happens when you take your mom's meds. Don't do drugs, kids! This must be someone's first project, right? I like that this is in the trailer. 10 out of 10 gameplay. You pay to put this on Steam with this audio? There's also a lot of games that are just not impressive. As in, why would you play this when you can play anything else? Sure, why not crash in there? That's not how you fly a plane, buddy. Does anyone like idle games? I don't get it. And yes, a couple of mobile games have made it onto Steam, but wouldn't you rather play them on your phone anyway? Also, apparently now Fireboy and Water Girl are back. And that was a bad category. It's time to raise the bar a little. Forgive my accent. It's clear that this game is more fun, but I don't know if a roguelike deck builder is cool or not. Seriously, how do you know if a roguelike deck builder is fun until you play it? I don't know. Grandma, come over here, they have Cat Among Us. There are a lot of hyper-casual games as well. Can somebody explain to me? I don't understand what's so fun about taking pictures or dragging objects into a room.
Do I look as if I enjoy decorating?
I don't.
And just like with deck builders, I find it impossible to know if a story of a visual novel is going to be good just based off the trailer. Although some look pretty good. Holy I mean, some look pretty good. It's honestly inspiring to see what a small team can achieve. Keep it up, great work. Let's see what's next. Oh god, it's horror. No, I don't want to see it, go away.
Mama, the monsters are back.
So yeah, there were a lot of horror games, but I just could not sit through the trailers. Although, I almost died laughing from this one. And he's off, ladies and gentlemen. There he goes.
What's wrong, honey?
What? Well, you were yelling.
Oh, it's okay now, it's just a rat.
A rat?
Next up is mystery games. Well, if the story is a mystery, how can I know if it's good or not? We're almost done with the not for me category of games. These games all have some nice charm, but they're not quite yet in the big leagues. However, I truly appreciate the passion that the devs have poured into these projects. But it's time to set our sights even higher to the best games that I've found. Can solo devs and small teams deliver masterpieces? And what did the big studios bring to the table? It is time for the good games! We're starting with the game that had the biggest budget of all. It's called Mixtape, and it came into quite a lot of controversy because it's not actually a game, it's more like a movie. Taking that into consideration, I think it looks absolutely fire. However, I do like more gameplay though. Next up is the sequel of the popular game Crosscode. It was quite surreal to go through the list of games on Steam and see this one. Badass Disco. Oh, it must be so good to play this game. You fight on the rhythm of the song. Another big budget game that really delivered. This game, you'll see it everywhere on Steam. The trailer is absolutely magnificent.
I gave you a nice place to stay. A sweet ride to the place, but you kept screwing up.
We're losing.
Maldita, please!
You kept betting on the wrong horse.
The next 5 games are all pixel art gems that are very juicy and that give you that dopamine drip to keep you going. I think because pixel art platformers are so abundant, it's very important to stand out with the most juicy gameplay that you can think of. And these games really deliver. I know I'm gonna get cancelled over this, but hear me out. I actually don't really like pixel art. I know, shocker. But I have no nostalgia for it, and I think it only looked good because it was on a CRT TV. That said, even I want to play these games, so very well done. For example, in this game you have to cook a meal, which I like cooking games, and then you have to battle them like Pokemon. Another surreal one to see was Tethergeist, because I followed the development here on YouTube. I'm sorry though, I don't really like the game. It looks kinda repetitive. The next 4 games focus more on the dark and surreal. They have a certain feel of quality in them, in that they don't try to scare you with jump scares, but they confront you with this attraction to the more, let's say, disturbing parts of the subconscious. I think they do a better job than pure mystery games in sparking that curiosity of, ooh, what's gonna happen next? If a trailer can already make my heart pump faster, that's very impressive. I was very surprised to see a game like this. The ID, the gameplay and the visuals all look so similar to the game Blood Thief by Blarkus, a YouTuber. So I don't know what to think now. I'll try to send them an email, we'll see. The last horror type game is this one, where you have to fire all your colleagues by unapologetically massacring them, which I think is something to strive for in the workplace. Although games like this do make me worry about the dev a little. Next up we have 2 walking simulators. Now the gameplay of course is not really there, but I think the visuals are so striking. So if the story is any good, these games can be the definition of hidden gold nuggets. Like I mentioned, a surprisingly high number of games is actually free, but I only found 2 good ones. That being said, they do look amazing, like this first one that promises a thrilling story where you are in control. Or this polished adventure game of a new indie studio that clearly has prior experience, and this little game is the perfect display of their skills. Yes baby, it's time for multiplayer games. We have 7 of them. God, multiplayer is just the goat of features. I mean, just look at this clip.
Okay, give me a second. Alright, sure, we have time to spend.
And yeah, even if you don't have friends, like me, we are so blessed with YouTube and Twitch existing. It's never too hard to find a content creator that just clicks with you. Oh, and by the way, in this game you have to explore an island and prepare a meal for the maw. It's simple concepts like these that I think work the best. Another example is this game, where you have to deliver a package in an apocalyptic landscape that looks really fun to explore.
I love presents. Not that kind of present.
It's probably because I'm dumb, but I really like simple concepts. Like a card game where you can lie and use your friends' cards against them. You like that, don't you, you little psychopath? But lying all the time can get a little bit boring, so personally I also enjoy cooperative experiences like this Pogo game. The trick here is to make it so challenging that people are gonna feel, and then we can all have a good laugh at them. And look at the time, we're already at the last multiplayer game. This one's in early access, but it already looks quite promising. When talking about games, you of course have to mention racing games. The speed, the drifts, the crashes.
Excuse me, sir, I'm driving over here.
There's gotta be a women joke in here. We also gotta have Bikini Cat Girl, of course. And lastly, a more arcade style of racing game. Can we bring back the cat girls? Who said that? Mom, was it you? I'm gonna be very biased. I love VR games. I mean, just look at it. You can be in the car, crashing, pulling all sorts of stunts and shit. What an asshole. You know, I failed my first driving exam. Can you tell why? Also, there's this game. The trailer really doesn't do it justice. You're a spy working for an organization and going on crazy missions. You need to use your detective skills, a time mechanic, explore around, and do crazy jumps like this. What about the VR shooter? You like VR shooters? Well, this dev just cracked the code. It looks amazing. And the best part is that you can customize your weapons. I think this game deserves a lot more eyeballs than it has gotten. Lastly, we have a very unfinished game, but I legitimately think that their game idea is genius. You see, holding VR controllers kind of feels like you don't have hands, but something like a cow's hooves. It's bulky and unhandy to control. I love that this game turned something that is a problem in most VR games into an actual challenging and fun game mechanic. Moving on, as you can expect, there are also single-player shooters, like this Doom clone. Yep, that looks juicy as hell, pun intended. There's also this space shooter with nice movement, shooting, and the cheeky AI boss lady that is backseat gaming you, which I really enjoy.
Priorities rescinded. At least that's the way the boss said it.
And yes, despite my hate for casual games, I do think there's still some good cozy games out there. Me, I really enjoy this game where you make a restaurant and make your own tomato. You cook the spaghetti for the customers. Et voila, buen appetito! Dear viewers, we've arrived at the last section, my personal picks. These games are honestly unfinished, but I can see the potential in them. A first example being this grappling game. For some reason, I just want to get all the way to the top. I don't know why. This game gives me Star Wars vibes. In a good way. I would love to slaughter my friends in this movement shooter. Oh, and also you get to play as dragons and kill them as well. This one is also a multiplayer. You have to track down targets in a city and assassinate them, which looks oddly satisfying. This game is a hardcore 3D platformer and I can tell why. So basically the floor is lava, which is my favorite childhood game by the way, and you get to traverse these insane environments. I'm sure that by now you understand that the games are very rough, but they have potential. I'm gonna be honest, this game just reminds me of Subnautica, which is one of my favorite games ever. Like, am I really supposed to survive this wave? It's so fascinating. And this reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus. You get to explore a world with big beasts and look at it, it's so cool! Yeah, this stuff was cooking. That's it, well done! You learned what type of games are out there on Steam. And I think that's honestly very important as a new game dev. So yeah, I think that we both earned this skill point. That's one done, baby! 99 more to go! As you know, this is my very first video, so unless you're from the future, I cannot recommend any others. But I can tell you about the next two videos. We're starting off strong with a 3D platformer, kinda like the one from Danny. So in the game engine Godot, I'm going to be implementing every single 3D movement mechanic that I can think of and somehow map them all onto a controller, which has not enough buttons by the way. Will this game be a total failure or the best game I will ever make? I don't know, we'll have to see. The video thereafter, I will be doing a classic, implementing Minecraft. But not at all like those clickbait videos. I want to make a Minecraft that you can actually speedrun. So things like the overworld, lava, nether, bastions, piglin trading, nether fortress, the end stronghold, and of course the end fight with the dragon. So yeah, I hope you're looking forward to it. I'm so excited to make these videos. My name is Julie and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!